Hello, 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 hello. What is happening, y'all? What is going on? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin podcast. This is the show where we discuss trending stories and just thought-provoking discussions from the fields of politics, sports, pop culture, and really all the above. Because we talk about it all. We talk about it all here on the pod, and I'm just that you all so thrilled that you all um are joining us on this great Monday. I hope you all had a great weekend. I can't complain. I had a very we had a close family friend that went on to be with the Lord, and she had an amazing uh homegoing service this past Saturday. And one thing I that stuck to me, or that I brought out of that service, was just, you always got to remember, you're here to serve and be a servant to others, right? You're here I don't know what your religious beliefs are, but hey, I'm a Christian. I might not be the most religious guy, because hey, we're all not perfect, but I try to live away, how I was raised, and how the Bible kind of teaches us. And you're here to serve God and to serve others. And this individual, she really, she would take care of others before she'll take care of herself. And I mean, I think we all are here to remind ourselves that, hey, we got to be, kind of one another, treat others with respect, and just know that, hey, look, we have so many luxuries, man, that we don't take in consideration, and we complain a lot, and we always have to realize, you know what, there's people out there that really need our help. And again, this was just a true hero to the community. And it's funny, because when I was at that service, I run into people that, for one, I haven't seen in a long time. And then you run into friends that you speak with on a regular, didn't know that they knew each other. I was like, well, how'd you do? So it's just it was an awesome, it was heavy, but it was an awesome service. And what else did we do this past weekend? Friday, my wife and I, one of my best friends, we all went out to support our dear friend, Miss Roberta Lee. She's been on the program before. You hear me talk a lot about her on our radio show. She's another dear friend. Her husband Nick and I are really really close, and so is Roberta. Roberta is a country. She's a neo country pop singer, and really she's just continued to climb up the charts. She has a new album out now called "Too Much of a Woman." I highly recommend for you all to get it, listen to it. You can download it on all streaming platforms, or go on her website, look her up, Roberta Lee. She's also a part of the Black Opry, which are a group of black country artists, male and female, and they're dope. They're dope. Roberta had a an event at the, I call it the Z Theater. I think it's called like the Ziders Theater over in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And it was a beautiful concert, man. Very close knit, private. Not crazy big, but just small, and just a great time, great music. She had her daughter, who just turned 10, get up there and sing, and I'm just like, man, these kids are just stars in the making. Okay, I mean, just literally, like, when I was 10, man, I don't even know what I was doing. I probably was still playing with wrestling action figures or something. I was not getting on stage in front of crowds and singing full ballads, like, no. And I mean, this girl can also play the piano and stuff, so I was just like, man, these kids are just too damn talented. Damn, I gotta get my life together. Okay, gotta get my shit together. But enough with the weekend. Let's get on to the show again. Thank you so much for tuning to the Arrington Gavin podcast. We come to you with new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via podcast. Also, 5 p.m. if you want to watch the video version of this podcast, you can tune in to the show on our YouTube channel, R Smooth Club Media. Okay, the letter R, and then Smooth Club Media on YouTube. Please download, subscribe, share. I truly appreciate it. We are continuing to grow our subscribers one day at a time. But we drop new episodes, video versions at 5 p.m. on those exact same days, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. You can also subscribe to the Arrington Gavin podcast on Rumble. If you are a Rumble subscriber, please go to our channel, the Arrington Gavin podcast. You can find us on there. Our Smooth Club podcast on Facebook. Our Smooth Club Media, I believe it's RSC Media on X. And I've already mentioned about the podcast, the R Smooth Club Media Network, on all listening platforms. Okay, all listening platforms. What do we have? What else? Let's get it going with the show. So this past weekend, talk show host, radio host, Hall of Famer, a true icon, pop culture icon, and just I would say the queen of gossip talk. Miss Wendy Williams had a documentary that aired that premiered this past Saturday called Where's Wendy? Now, Where's Wendy Williams? Excuse me, Where's Wendy Williams? And now it has been spoken about, and I'm gonna say in the few weeks prior to this documentary, because we haven't heard from Wendy Williams in a long time. I believe 2022 was the last time we saw her on TV publicly. She had a very famous talk show called the Wendy Williams Show that was on for about 14 years, and it was number one. It was a show like no other. Now, Wendy Williams was always known on radio as just that lady that didn't give a damn on what questions to ask. She was very unfiltered, and so somewhat of the majority of the talkers today. And she always had her acclaimed, how you doing? How you doing? She had every star, regardless of how macho they were. I remember she had Hulk Hogan do that. How you doing? And love her or hate her, you always tuned in. I mean, I remember hearing my family like, "Oh, Wendy is getting on my nerves," but you watched her heavenly. So it was somebody that you still enjoyed, because that's something that's, to me, Wendy is an individual that I see in my family, right? Just as far as like always in people's business, always gossiping this and that and the other. And it's like, you don't hate her for it. I mean, so you're thinking it, but guess what? She's gonna say it and is not gonna hold back. And that was her niche. That was her tool, what she was known for. And she was very, very, very popular. But Wendy has always been vocal about her addictions, right? She's publicly come out saying, hey, I've had addictions with cocaine. I've had been going through a very abusive divorce, which was very public as well. I think her ex-husband was her former manager, and it was very, very sad. She had a movie in talks about her life, and it was extremely sad. It was extremely sad to see what she had to go through, and she's also a mother as well. But Wendy was always very open with the people, never held anything back. So coming out with this documentary was like the stuff that you never seen before, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. But Wendy talks about everything. She tells us everything, right? So her show, towards the end, she had been on hiatus multiple times. She had said, and it was really because of her health. There was a viral moment on her show where she fainted. There was a moment that she spoke about, hey, I'm currently living in a facility for my treatment, for my recovery. And while she was still airing, while she was still hosting her show, then fast forwarded really towards the closing of her show, there have been a rotating slew of guest hosts many a times, and then eventually the show gets canceled. Sherry Shepherd is named the replacement for that time slot. She now has a Sherry Shepherd show, which is very, very successful and very popular. And so no one knew what was going on with Wendy. We're like, where's Wendy? There were times where paparazzi will find her, and she's looking extremely frail and lost and just not good physically, right? Heading into this documentary, it was announced that the 59-year-old was had been diagnosed with progressive aphasia and frontal temporal dementia. Now, this is the same illness that actor Bruce Willis has his, is going through right now, and is really a pretty advanced stage of dementia. Now, again, you're like, whoa. I mean, 59 years old. I mean, Bruce Willis is not an old guy at all either. I want to say he's in his early 60s. Um, and it's just and it may be a little older, but Wendy Williams is not even 60. She's 59 years old, and hearing that she is going through this is extremely sad. Um, I mentioned earlier that she has they had a promo of her documentary called "Where Is Wendy Williams." Now, the docu had highlighted her struggles of excessive drinking, um her fractured family relationships, as well as her finances. Wendy has spoken about being broke, that she's broke, that there is no money. There's been spoken on different news outlets that she's under a guardianship, and she's currently at a facility of recovery in Florida. Now, her family, now the court system assigned a guardian to take over, Wendy's, I guess, estate and to watch over her. But it's not her family. It's not her blood family. Her niece and goddaughter has been going around, who was actually in the docu series, and she has been going from news source to news source, just speaking, hey, look, we have not seen my aunt in a very long time. To my knowledge, I hope she's well. I think she's doing good. But she has her struggles, and she's not being like trying to tell all her business. She's just speaking on the family's behalf, right? They care about Wendy just as us, the fans, care about Wendy Williams. Um, it's sad. It's really sad. I'm not going to show any clips. Usually, I'll try and show small clips of the show, but I personally don't agree with the style of this series. I don't like it. I don't like it because you're documenting a lady that is going through major just spiraling, like, major addictions, um dementia. Her mind is not there. There's clips of showing her being very rude to her assistant, her stylist. It shows Wendy yelling at one point. It shows her drinking an entire or downing an entire bottle of vodka. I mean, there's not good moments. Now, there was a sweet moment where Black China, reality star Black China, I'm not sure what her government name is, 'cause I know she had changed her name to her government name now. But Black China and Wendy Williams sitting down, and Wendy does not have her wig on. Wendy is known for having the nice hair and always keeping herself looking sharp. And this time it shows her with her natural hair, and Wendy is just it's a sad sight to see. This lady is a sister, a friend, a mother, a cousin, a aunt, a daughter, and it's sad. It's extremely sad. Um, the 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 public has been back and forth with why they are showing this documentary. Now, reps have said this was Wendy's idea. She wanted the people to see and to document this. I think there was a portion where before she was diagnosed, that she speak about what she has been going through since leaving TV, since her show had got canceled. Um, it's extreme. That is a great picture of the one Wendy Williams receiving her Hollywood star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Another, again, a well deserved. Um, it's just, and that was really probably like her healthy. She's much skinnier, guys. Her skin is very palish complexion, very frail. I mean, it's I'll just say, keep her in prayer. Keep her in prayer. Now, if you might have seen the documentary, and please DM me on Instagram, or leave a comment on this video. But let me know, what was your thoughts? What did you think about the documentary? Do you think, were you happy that they showed, okay, what she's going through? Are you hoping that she will receive help from, not just not medical attention, but maybe help from people within the industry? Because Wendy is very passionate about being back on TV. I know a while back she was in talks of having a podcast, which everybody was excited about, because like, oh, you always want to, you have to hear her. Her voice was so important. She was never really a political talker, but she was always in entertainment, gossip, music. I mean, that was her realm. That was her avenue, where she kept her her lane in. And so you were just waiting to hear, what does Wendy have to say about, for example, like the Will Smith slap. What does Wendy have to say about the pay wage for actresses, especially black actresses in Hollywood? What does Wendy Williams have to say about the new color purple? What does Wendy Williams have to say about these musicians feuding with each other? I mean, what does she have to say about Cat Williams? Because let me tell you something, she would have got the scoop with Cat Williams. She sure would have. And that's who Wendy Williams is, man. She was a voice that we have always wanted to hear. Okay, what does Wendy have to say about this? But I just wanted to bring that up because they're showing different moments within the in the documentary, and clips on different platforms on social media, and a lot of them are not the good versions, in my opinion. I mean, you know people in media have to show a side, of course, to get those clicks and stuff. But like I said, I refuse to show that side of an individual. To me, it's just, that's private. But I mean, I guess you're like, well, Arrington, they did sign up to do a reality show to show their inside, behind closed doors, and this and the other. I understand that. But I her son is very much still alive. And he was also on the documentary. I don't think we're too far away from ages as well. But if that was my mother, or if that was my wife, or if that was my sibling that I knew was ill, I would have said, hey, look, let's show the good side of you. And we can maybe speak on a very short a few minutes of what you really, what the real Wendy Williams, what you're going through health wise, and the stuff that people hasn't seen before, and things like that. But when you make that full entire documentary about your struggle, and you doing this and that and this and that, I mean, it's like another Bobby and Whitney. I mean, no one wants to see that. But hey, we live in a world where controversy sells, man. People thrive to see people struggling. People love to see, why hasn't Kanye West get canceled yet? I'm just saying, everybody and their mama know that Kanye needs help. Okay? Yet he's still doing what he's doing. People are still giving him the opportunity and the platform to do this and do that. I mean, that's all that it is. Same for Miss Williams. She has a team that, trust and believe, as they're yes people. They don't really, care about this lady. So I mean, it sucks, because I go back to my weekend when we had to, send our dear friend home to be with the Lord. Like, she was a servant to others. She helped people in need. She broke her back for people that she knew dearly, and that her kids and family didn't even know about. That's who she was. She will give to the homeless. She would do so much for others, and that's all that it's about, man. We gotta uplift, and continue to uplift and pray for these people. People like Wendy Williams, man. We need to pray for her. We pray that she can she has a great recovery, and just great health, and just can be at peace. Okay? Can be at peace, and just can enjoy her life on a positive note, not on an aggressive. I just spit all over my, yeah. I like, that was Get your mind out the gutter for whoever's watching this. Ew, ew, did you just spit on the mic? Shut up. Shut up. But yeah, man, I had to bring this up about Wendy Williams because I was and well still am a huge fan of Wendy Williams, and hope that she will hope that she will have a great recovery. Um things, man, you just don't know. You just don't know. But we are gonna do a quick commercial break. When we come back, speak uh have some more stuff to talk about here on the Arrington Gavin podcast. We'll be right back. That's right, y'all. Make sure y'all tune into my weekly radio show, in your city, hosted by, of course, yours truly, along with my good friends, comedian Ciroc Fox and Hustle Queen Miss Michelle Young. And shout out to our producer Cam Godley. That radio show airs every Sundays at 12 p.m. on WNSB Hot 91.1 FM, the soul of EA. All right, guys. Now back to the show. Back to the pod. So one thing I love about Disney Plus. Disney Plus lets me relive my childhood because I see films and shows that I haven't watched since I haven't watched in years. Back when I was a kid watching Disney Channel, and being a subscriber to Disney Plus gives you the full archive of past work that they've done. And so over the weekend, I was watching this movie called Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. And this movie was about a kid named Eddie who he was a tremendous baseball player, but he had a love for something else. Now, the kicker was, so his dad was the baseball coach. His dad was somewhat of a, misogynistic in a sense. He was very insulting, using the terms, hey, you run like a girl, and men don't do this, men do this kind of attitude. And so in the beginning it showed his dad was a baseball coach of the team he played for. Baseball team always struggled, but Eddie was their number one guy. He was their best player. Eddie starts to develop a love for culinary. Okay, he looks out on the TV, he sees Bobby Flay cooking, and he always could make some good, quick off the cuff stuff. Like it was great at making fancy looking hot dogs. He made this meal like it was like fried chicken but with Fruit Loops and mashed potatoes, and just he could whip up anything, but he still didn't have the knowledge when it came to culinary. And so he struggled because he kept that as a secret from his best friends who were guys, and his dad and his two brothers, because they will pick on him after he fixed it. They will pick on him, call him Eddie Crocker, and make sure you get your apron ready and things like that. And so he was extremely scared and extremely he was just very to himself, because he likes saying, okay, this is my biggest secret. I can't let the guys see that. I can't let my dad see this because they're going to continue to pick on me and blase, blase, blase. And, guys play sports. They don't belong in the kitchen. That was what he was fighting against. So fast forward, he takes a home ec class. He forces his friends to do it. His friends catch him kind of enjoying this, and they will pick on him some more. Then an opportunity came for a cook-off competition that was like $1 million cook-off, and it was towards scholarships, right? And so the winner would receive a scholarship towards a school, I guess a known culinary school. It was hosted by Bobby Flay, blase, blase, blase. And so he was back and forth, continue to work on his craft as cooking, but still hiding it from his family and his friends. Once his friends found out, oh, one of them was not talking to him at all, would do this and do that, and would to avoid him. And he said, "Dude, guys don't do that. Guys don't do that." His dad, on the other hand, was the same way. His dad would always say, "Well, Eddie, I know that you like sports. I know you like baseball more. Look, at some of these games, we got college scouts coming, maybe even pro scouts. You can maybe go in the pros instead and skip over going to college, because this is how big sports is." So I titled this segment "Times Really Haven't Changed," because this is 2024. That film was done in 03, about 20 years ago. We're in a world where you have the feminist movement that are very passionate. Hey, I can do the same job a guy can do. You have women fighting for equal pay, because again, you still have that balance, right? We see it a lot in sports. We see it in corporate America. We see it in Hollywood. That has not changed, right? There's a scene in the movie where because on this baseball team there were two girls on the baseball squad playing with the guys. Now, you have softball, which is mainly for girls, and then you have baseball, which is played majority of men. But this was different. And this girl had said, she called out the coach, Eddie's dad, and said, why do you insult me like that? You just said, why is it an insult when you say run like a girl? First of all, I am a girl. I'm gonna run like a girl because I am a girl. But why is it a insult when you say you run like a girl, but a compliment if you tell that same girl that you run like a guy? I was like, whoa, boy, has nothing's changed. Like, it's crazy how just the circle of spin continues to evolve. And it is just really, it blows my mind, because we've all said, hey, look, you run like a girl and this and like girl, but you have obviously the more you know, the more you grow. You're still a student, you're still learning. I say all the time, I'm still learning. I have to watch what I say, so I won't be insulting towards a group of people or community or gender, things in that nature. And I know I'm not the best athlete, so does that make me less of a man? I'm not good at changing a tire. Does that make me less of a man? All the quote unquote manly things that go on in our world, if you can't do that, you're going to be called out, right? I mean, at least in the culinary world, you do embrace a lot of male chefs. You rarely see it still, I think, in baking, in my opinion. I mean, there's some popular shows that involve male bakers, but I still think that is very that still has some growing to do. But this film had really spoke on so many issues that are still happening to this day. And I just had to bring it up during the show because I just thought it was pretty cool. I'm like, whoa, 21 years ago, and we still haven't changed. So what would occur? How could we make that change? And it's going to be a lot of growth. It's going to be a lot of growth, because the whole pay wage, that's a whole separate show. But as far as the slangs and the slogans and the you run like a girl and this and that, we have to cut that out, guys. We really do. And I'm speaking just as a man. Like, you cannot think it's okay to tell a girl, you belong in the kitchen, or you belong here and that. You don't have a saying for that. Who are you to judge? Who are you to judge? So I just had to bring that up. And check out if you are a Disney Plus subscriber, check out the film. It's called Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. It was in 03. Orlando, what's his name? Orlando Brown was in this film. Young Eddie, young Orlando. So he was in that film, and like I said, Bobby Flay. There was a few other famous actors and actresses in there. But I just said, you know what? That is crazy how that has not changed yet. Oh my god, dang. So just had to bring it up. Okay. So let's see what's on my no. Okay. I want to bring up. Let me see here. Also, what happened this past weekend was the South Carolina. You know I gotta talk politics. Y'all, come on, y'all. Y'all know me. Well, actually, you know what? I've already kind of said what I'm gonna speak on, but let me do a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're gonna talk more on the South Carolina primaries that just occurred this past week. Yeah, we're gonna talk some more about that when we come back with more here on the Arrington Gavin podcast. Be right back.
Yeah. Nina. See. Goblin. Gotta put on for my team. Put on for my team, yeah. Gotta put on for my team.
Get ready for the ultimate music competition that will leave you on the edge of your seat.
The full package, where the best of Virginia will battle it out to prove they have what it takes.
Hello, we're your host. I'm Nina Nicole.
And I'm LITS. In this thrilling competition, contestants will face electrifying challenges, testing their musical knowledge, skills, and creativity.
You have one shot to prove you're the full package.
Only the most exceptional performers will rise to the top and claim the title as the full package. Every note,
every move,
every beat counts. Who will have what it takes to become the ultimate music sensation and reign supreme as the full package?
Don't miss the full package, where dreams are made and legends are born. Tune in for the most thrilling music competition of the year.
Coming soon to your screens.
The full package.
This is great. I like the choice and the texture and everything. Right. Mind blowing.
I've never seen talent like this before.
You've got the full package.
Yay. Yo, that is the full package, a show that yours truly happens to serve as a backstage host of. It's a singing songwriting competition that we are currently still filming, and it's coming to a channel near you. I'm so excited to be a part of that. We are almost finished filming because we've been filming since last year. Okay, and so it's a lot going on, but yeah, wanted to bring up about the South Carolina primaries, which happened this past Saturday, and it wasn't anything that was a shocker to most people. If you have been living under a rock, then you already know that Donald Trump has been coming in at number one. Let me go ahead and bring that. Oh, there you go. Get that good image for you. Trump has been coming in at number one for since the beginning, right? He Iowa caucus, he won. New Hampshire primary, he won. South Carolina, he won. Now, his opponent is that's still the Lone Ranger on the Republican ticket is Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley, former South Carolina governor, former UN ambassador, Nikki Haley. She's not leaving, and she's not, and it's interesting because a lot of people are saying, why is she continuing to waste people who have funded for her, people that are donating money to her campaign? It's a waste. She's wasting their money because she has not come nowhere near close to winning a primary. Now the results are already in for the South Carolina primary. It shows that former President Donald Trump received 59.8% of the votes. Around, I'm looking at the exact number, a little over 450,000 votes. He gained also 47 delegates. Now, Nikki received 39.5%, which was close to 300,000 votes, gained 3 delegates in her home state, a state where she was hoping to win. But I've listened to different coverages on all the outlets, and in all honesty, Democratic strategist had made a good point. He's like, what do you what does this win mean for for the Democrats in in South Carolina? And they said absolutely nothing. Okay, absolutely nothing. Because South Carolina has never won over was more of a blue state. It's a red state. It's been a red state for years. It's the South. And South Carolina is very much, you gotta be careful in certain parts that you at. My in-laws live in South Carolina, and South Carolina is a beautiful state. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's big, it's affordable. It's their rules are more more lenient than myself living in the Commonwealth state of Virginia. But it has some great perks and stuff, but they are a very red conservative state. And so it wasn't really a shocker. It wasn't a shocker. Now the obviously to some the shocker is, why didn't Nikki Haley win over her state? Why didn't Nikki Haley win over her state? The thing is, a good portion of the MAGA base, I would say, is coming out of South Carolina. Hands down. For one, you have a former lieutenant governor that was under Nikki Haley that now I think served as a governor. He endorsed Donald Trump. You see Tim Scott on Trump's hip pocket everywhere he goes. He's this South Carolina senator. He is not leaving Trump at all. Okay. So he has a lot. You even saw at the when Trump had made his victory speech from the primaries, you had the owner of the New York Jets was on that stage as well. So you had a lot of known supporters for former President Trump, and he had been, of course, his mouth gets him in trouble. I had the longest conversation with one of my best friends who leans more conservative, right? We disagragree majority of the time on political views, but I mean, we know that we don't let our political beliefs step in our friendship. I mean, we have that utmost respect for each other that we can still have a regular conversation. But we were just talking about how Trump's mouth gets his ass in trouble, because if you think about it, if you had say we fast forward, Trump wins, Trump is nowhere near as controversial from the tongue than he is, and you just said, okay, just go in office, do what you want to do as far as policy wise, and let's see, is he going to be just as bad? And I don't think he'll be just as bad as he is right now, because his mouth gets him in trouble. For me, I want a leader. If you're going to be representing all of the United States, why would you want an individual that is arrogant, extremely cocky, narcissist, unapologetic towards others when he knows he's wrong? Like, that's not me. That's not my cup of tea. But some people that just like him for his policies, they really don't like the person, but they just like his policies. I'm a person, not party individual, so I'm the opposite. But Trump had recently said, what did he say? He was at some event and was saying, oh, he can't see the lights. See the lights are so bright, but I can see the black ones. I can see the black ones though. I can see the black ones. Then he compared himself to most of black people because of his indictments, because they're trying to lock him up in jail. Like, I mean, think before you speak, man. So for one, he's saying that, okay, you can relate to black people because of how many charges you're facing. So now you're calling all black people criminals. All right. Anyway, I'm not going to continue with that. But fast forward, long story short, he has won the primary, and so the next thing that they are talking about is his picks, right? Trump's VP picks. And so the interesting thing with that is there have been some names on that list. Now they had at CPAC, they had like a polling happening, and they were just like, kind of pulling out of a straw kind of thing. And, certain percentage was voting, oh, we want to see this person as their VP, want to see that person as their VP, so on and so on. So a couple of people that had tied up. Now this was a polling, I think, out of like 1,400 attendees who was doing this poll. that was at CPAC, which is like a conservative, what is it, a conservative convention that I feel like happens every 2 weeks. What is I'm trying to see what the freaking the initials. What does that mean? What is it? Okay, Conservative Political Action Conference. That's what it is. Conservative Political Action Conference. And so those voters had said, okay, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem and entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy are tied at 15%. Would like to see either of those two at the VP. Tulsi Gabbard, former Democratic Congresswoman out of Hawaii, she have received 9%. So Tulsi has been the voice for the right lately. She's an independent, but I will say she's more of a right-leaning independent, because now her career is to bash the former party that she served forever. Okay, now it's nothing wrong with that, because I have friends that work on local, state, and federal level, and they've said it. Look, a lot of people don't show on the media, or a lot of news media outlets don't show that we fight a lot within our own party. There's people we don't like within our own party. That's not being told. The narrative is like divisiveness, separation. So we all know within different parties, you have far right, left, left people. You have what else? You have moderate Democrats. You have centrist Democrats. You have progressive Democrats. You have conservative. You have the more conservative, like Joe Manchin out of West Virginia. He's a moderate Democrat, but he's considered a conservative Democrat. I have family that are conservative liberals. You have the same with the Republicans. You have moderate Republicans, centrist Republicans. You have far right Republicans. You have liberal Republicans. There's so many parties within the party. But Tulsi has, since she's ran for office, she has always been the person that to speak what's the worst things about the Democrat Party, what are the worst things that they're doing, and this and that and the other. She's run for president before, didn't come up close, but that was I believe maybe a few terms ago. She ran, which she probably could have ran again, honestly, if she was still very strong in the Democratic Party and stuff. But she was doing a few appearances on Fox News, and then eventually, hold on. And she would do a lot of appearances on Fox, and just speaking, because they wanted to get a somebody from the left, sharing sharing the issues with the left, because let's be honest, Fox will have their liberal and conservative and Democratic contributors there, because they want to hear someone from the side, but that's a very small number, because obviously their agenda is to support mainly people on the right. But Tulsi is, then she's currently a Fox, full-time Fox contributor. She left the Democratic Party. She has recently, I think, signed with X for some exclusive content there. She has started her podcast and things like that. So she's doing her own thing. She is one of those people that are, have been mentioned for a potential VP. New York Representative Congresswoman Elise Stefanik and Tim Scott, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, they're tied at 8%. Okay, they're tied at 8%. Then you have Florida Congressman Byron Donald, 7%. And last, we have Carrie Lake, Arizona Senate candidate Carrie Lake, with 6%. So those are the list of individuals that, and I'm gonna see if I can kind of show you a little bit of that. If you can see on there, and this is reported by the BBC, by the way, but this is just showing a percentage of those names I've just mentioned. Here's a few of the There's a few people right there. So you have Tulsi Gabbard in the white suit in the middle. You have Elise Stefanik. Excuse me. And then you have on the end right there in the black suit, that is the South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem. So those are the three ladies. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you're missing the fourth lady is Carrie Lake. Now, Carrie Lake is, I don't know. She's out. I don't know. I mean, they love her, but she could be one because she has no political experience at all, but neither did Donald Trump. Tim Scott has been kissing Trump's tail for the beginning. I think it'll be an insult if Trump gives him a job on the urban housing and development like he did. I don't know, a famous brain surgeon by the name of Ben Carlson. It's just my opinion. Vivek kind of irritated a lot of people on the Republican side, but young Republicans and conservative, even some independents, more conservative independents, enjoyed Vivek just because he's very vocal and unapologetic and doesn't hold back and calls people out and things like that. Let me see if they have any pictures of anybody else. Okay, nobody else. Let me come out of that. But yes. So we will see. We will see how that will eventually end up with those VP picks. Now, I've heard conservative strategists, Republican strategists even say, look, all those people on that list, it wouldn't surprise me if none of them are going to be the VP. It's too early to say. We're going on, maybe we have like close to like 9 months left until this election is over with. So we will see. I don't know too much about the South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem. She's always been a vocal Trump supporter. They love Tulsi because Tulsi is just like, I think it's all about. I'm always thinking of story. I'm thinking like, well, what would be a great story to share? Former Democrat Congresswoman, now serving as left the Democratic Party, now serving as the VP under Trump. She's young. She's very likable from the young people. She's a familiar face on Joe Rogan's podcast. He's spoken highly about Tulsi and about voting for her. And but again, Tulsi just signed a deal with X. So I'm like, okay, is that gonna be a conflict of interest? Is that deal gonna flop if she becomes VP? I mean, I would think, because how can she manage the two? Or it might work. It might be even better. I don't know. Tim Scott, I mean, people respect him on both sides of the aisle, but a lot of black people are not crazy about Tim Scott. I would say that. Same for Byron O'Donnell. Now, I don't dislike Byron Donald. I think he backs what he preaches, so you got to have my respect for that. I don't have to agree with him, which I don't. But he is very, 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 very supportive and vocal for President Trump. He even agreed with Trump when Trump said, "Hey, look, all these indictments and stuff that I'm getting, I feel, I'm that's why a lot of black conservatives support me, because we going through the same thing." Like Byron Donald has, and I just read that on the Hill. Like he's like, yeah, it is very similar. So he's very vocal like that. I mean, he's always back and forth with the black community, man. So he's not scared. Carrie Lake, again, not really a fan favorite. I don't think she will be a great VP. Most likely will definitely have a position on his cabinet if he wins. Same for maybe Byron Donaldson. I mean, to me, when Trump was already in office, Byron would have already had a position on his cabinet, but I think he had just won his congressman position out in Florida. So Tim Scott would definitely get a position. Elise Stefanik, most likely. Vivek, yes, and Kristi Noem. Tulsi and Carrie, I'm not too sure. But I just wanted share those stories with you that went on this past weekend. And before we close, guys, I want to bring up an event that the Rugged Evolution Foundation will be having May 11th. Is the Saturday before Mother's Day. So if you are in, there you go. If you are in the Hampton Roads area, please, please, please go on Eventbrite today. The Rugged Evolution Foundation will be presenting this event called A Toast to Mom. A Toast to Mom. And this is just a day to showcase and to spread the love and to praise our mothers out there in Hampton Roads that are doing just great things. Because let me be honest, I wouldn't be the person today without my mother, without support of my mother. I'm a mama's boy, loud and proud about it. I'm a mama's boy, and yeah, I'm just I can't speak anything highly without what the world will be without mothers. This event will be happening May 11th. Okay, May 11th at the Holiday Inn Conference Hotel over in Virginia Beach, Virginia. The address is at the bottom of there. 5655 Greenwich. I said Greenwich. Greenwich Road in Virginia Beach. We will have vendors in attendance. I believe we have I think almost 6 vendors. My good friend, Emmy nominated journalist Miss Ashley Smith. She is the anchor of 13 News Now. And she is awesome. She's awesome. She's going to be hosting this event. We have musical artist Miss Roberta Lee, who I spoke about earlier this during this pod. She will be performing. We also have the funny comedians, right? I got to bring some comedy out. We have Miss Sherry Priester, and we also have headlining this comedian Steph Funny. She is so funny. She actually went viral. If you can look up it for you, Breakfast Club fans. She was the girl that had I think she did the impersonation of Busta Rhymes, the Look at Me Now challenge on the Breakfast Club. She called in and killed it, and they end up reposting it. It got so many views, and she's awesome. Stephanie is awesome. Again, this event is then we also have my good friend DJ Scandalous from WNSB Hot 91, gonna be on the ones and twos, getting that good music going. And then of course my family and from In Your City, we will be there. We'll have be set up there doing a recording, interviewing some of the vendors and all that great stuff. So it'll be a great evening. That's going to be occurring May 11th, that Saturday. If you are in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area, do me a favor, go on Eventbrite right now. Type in A Toast to Mom. Get your tickets before we sell out, because it is selling. It is selling now. You can actually follow the foundation pages, their Instagram page, rugged_foundation1. Follow. We do some great stuff in the community. Giving back is what we have to do, y'all. We have to always give back. And so these are just more of the events that we do in the community, and I'm so excited to be doing this amazing event for the day before Mother's Day. Yeah, guys, I think that's all I got for y'all today. That is all I got for y'all today. I hope y'all enjoy. Be sure to continue to tune into the Arrington Gavin podcast Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via podcast. Okay, so if you want to listen to the audio version, that drops at 10 a.m. every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, wherever you get your pod, whether that's Odyssey, iHeart, Spotify, Apple, Google, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast, you can listen in on those days. And then if you want to watch the video versions drop at 5 p.m. on our YouTube channel, R Smooth Club Media, at the Arrington Gavin podcast on Rumble. So for you Rumble subscribers out there, watch us on Rumble. Just type in Arrington Gavin podcast. You can follow us there. Let's see what else. Facebook, R Smooth Club podcast, as well as X. So we got some great stuff going, and we're just gonna have some more good conversation, because it is election season. So I hope to bring on some candidates and current political officials that are serving and running for re-election. I'm going to have them on the show. I'm going to have some of my friends in politics when we speak on the local and state and federal elections. It'll be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So until next time, y'all be easy. I will see y'all on Wednesday. I'm out.